or good afternoon or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. But I get started early, so I got up about 5:30 today, had my coffee, and started going through some updates I needed to make on a client website, and then started going through their Facebook ads. And I want to talk to you today about the cost of getting the reach on your Facebook ads to get your message in front of your customers or potential customers. Well, they got to be customers if they're liking your page, right? So let's just talk about that. When I had my restaurant in Costa Rica, I had about 2,300 people that followed my page. Now, when we would put a post on there, uh, we would get a lot of engagement. We'd get a lot of people that saw it, but we would get anywhere from 650 up to 950 people seeing our posts every day, depending on what the topic was. If it had to do with a promotion, if it had to do with sports events, it was a sports bar we had called the Timeout Tavern, and so that engagement was, you're talking about 30% of the, anywhere from 15, or wait, let's see, let me do the math, 30% to 45% of the people that were liked our page actually saw our post. Well, I was going through some numbers today, and when you're talking about organic, non-paid traffic, that went down, and it dropped from uh, 30 to 45%. We were well above average, but people were still getting 20, 25%. It dropped down to 15%, then down to 5%. And I really didn't know how to use paid ads. We just had, we kept posting, but it did not nearly have the effect that it had. So what we should have been doing was getting them to give us their email address. Now most people don't like to give out. They give out a crappy email address if they want something to do. But if you can get something on there, an offer for them to engage and actually give you their email address and their number to text to. So if you can get their name, email address, and text number, I wouldn't make the text the requirement, but I would make their name and their email, minimum their email, right? You need their email address. And how much are they worth? I was going through the numbers today, and running engagement ads to try to get people to engage with posts for my clients, it was running me about 50%. Now, for people to actually see that post that was putting on there, or 50%, did I say? I meant about 50 cents, a little less than 50 cents. But regardless, to get an actual an engagement, that means someone commented, liked, or shared the post. Uh, but to get people to see it was about 10% of that the number of that people that actually saw the ad engaged with the ad. So it costs about 5 cents per engagement. Now, if you're posting every day and you're running an ad every day, 30 days a month, that's going to cost you $1.50 just to keep getting in, and you got to perpetually pay that to get that in front of the people. So what we need to do is concentrate on capturing their email. Now I'm going to go inside, jump into my computer, and I'll show you exactly on a whiteboard how that's done.
All right. So now, as I discussed right now, we're just going to keep these numbers round. When I run an ad for engagement, all right, engagement, my ads are costing me about 50 cents per engagement, right? So that's for social proof. I run these ads for different reasons. But my reach, how many people actually see the ad that I'm running, costs me about 5 cents each. So if I'm trying to reach, I mean, to really make an impact, you want to reach at least hundreds of people to make an impact on your business. Like I said, if you and if you can target those ads to people that like your page. So the first thing you got to do is build up the likes. Now there's different ways to do this, and let me talk about this. See, if you're running engagement ads, it's recurring and recurring and recurring. If you ran an engagement ad every single day and capped it at $10 a day, that would be $300 a month. And at the end of it, you wouldn't have, well, hopefully you'd have increased business, but you wouldn't have anything of value because then Facebook's in total control. So if we run an ad on Facebook, we get on Facebook, right? And we run an ad on Facebook. Facebook ad. And we run a promotion that targets people. Let's say that your audience for your bar or restaurant is people 35 to 55 that live within 3 miles of your business. And if your reach depends on your business. I mean, if you're in Chandler, Arizona doing this, you're probably talking about being able to reach 4 or 5,000 people if you run let's say you run a contest. That's what I would do. I would be willing to spend up to $2 per name, maybe even more. But what you want to do to get those in is you want to run a contest. So you set up a contest. You set up a contest, and in the contest, for them to enter, they got to give you their name, their email address, their name, email address, and then they hit the enter button. Now, what that'll do is put their information on your list. Right? You run the contest, and there's ways to get more interactive off this, but I'm trying to just keep this to a broad. I'm working on a course to cover all this stuff right now, but I'm just working on the broad aspect of it. They enter the contest. You send them an automated email that says they entered the contest, right? And then from there, at the same time, when this is all happening, right? Because you're going onto the list, they go into the list, they get an automated email, and then you send them to the thank you page. Now, this is where there's magic, because I would be willing to spend, like I said, really, to get someone's name that's interested in your business and that lives in a radius that you know they're going to be able to come to your business. I'd be willing to spend up to $5 per name. But this should only cost you about $1 a name to get these people to give you their information. That is your goal, right? Now, once you got that list, let's say you enter them in a contest to get free dinner for 2, right? So the contest that you did was, let's say lunch for 2. Let's say you're doing a lunch business. Lunch for 2. And you run this contest. Let's say you run this contest for a week. You run it from their business time. So you run it to people that work within 3 miles of your place, Monday through Friday, and you spend $10 a day, and you get, let's say you get let's say you get 100 entrants. Now this is going to vary. Contests like this, generally speaking, are going to get you depending on your area. That's the whole difference. But like where I lived in the US, you'd probably get about 200 entries. So let's use that number. You get 200 entries. Lunch for 2, let's say lunch for 2 is going to cost you, just to keep the numbers around, $20. And let's say the food cost on that is going to be $8. So it's going to cost you $8 for the lunch for two, and it's going to cost you $50 in ads. That's going to get you, let's say, $60 in total spend for 1 week, total cost for 1 week, and that's by 200 people. So that would be $60 divided by 200 people. So that's going to cost you about 30 cents per name. Now, for me, that's really cheap. But let's say you only got 100 names. Then it's going to cost you 100 entries. Then it's going to cost you 60 cents. To me, that's way worth it. Let's say even worse. Let's say you only got 60 entrants and it cost you $1 a piece. Now, the key is, now that you have that name and you know they're interested in lunch in your area, you can send them lunch promotions all the time. And I'm not talking about discounted. You don't have to discount everything. Maybe you can find out what they're interested in. Run a different lunch special every week. Run a lunch for two. Do you have anything healthy on your thing? 60% of people in that age group are looking for healthy choices for them to eat. So if you got a healthy lunch, we're going to put health. You got a healthy lunch and you run a contest for a healthy lunch, and that gets you for 60 bucks, 60 entrants, so $1 a person. Now you know that you can run advertisements, not advertisements. You can send them information. Let's say you have avocados on your lunch menu. Explain to them why, the health reasons. You can follow up with an email. Now, one of the best things to get interactions is text messages. So when we go, let's go back a page. When we put this on here, we can ask them right here, don't make it mandatory, that they put in their number if they want to be their contest one in text. Now, there's also ways to build more excitement around this, but I'm saving up some of this stuff for my course. If you're interested in any information, please post in this comments below what things you'd be interested in about learning for marketing your restaurant or bar or cafe or coffee house or pizza restaurant, whatever it may be. Put a comment down there. Please like the post. That helps me out. Like the content, share it. This all helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to me if you're watching this on YouTube and hit the notification bell. And this is the overall look on what you're going to be doing and what the value. And on the next video, we're going to talk about what the lifetime value of your customers are.
All right, now I hope you can see how this building a list through contest and the value of each one of those names. In the next video, I'm going to discuss what the value or the lifetime value of each customer is. And that's really important to put into perspective of what it costs you to get a list of people that are interested in coming into your business and what the actual long-term value that they have to your business. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.